goes a bit deeper, not realizing that he has already scared her by snooping around tracking down her phone number without ever getting it from her directly. So it's already super creepy to do that. So he says, "How was your New Year's?" No response. 2 days later, "Sorry to keep texting, but what are you up to today? If you're free later, I'd love to go out." I will never understand that kind of shit right there. How can you be so deluded and lost in your own little fantasy land Narnia that you think there's even an iota of a chance that she agrees to go out with you when she has ignored your messages for 4 fucking days? Like, what is the thought process? Scratching at his chin. Maybe she's playing hard to get. Perhaps she's just been truly swamped and has been really wanting to reply to me, but just might be a bit shy and doesn't know how. I know. I'll go ahead and invite her out with me. That should make her a lot more comfortable. And he goes a bit deeper. I know you're probably busy, but I could pick you up too, so you wouldn't have to take the bus anywhere. If you wanted to go out, that is. Sorry to keep texting, but I don't want to be out too late, so I'd appreciate a response at some point, Smiley. I'm heading out to get coffee now, so if you want to join me, just let me know. Ma'am, you better hurry. The choo-choo train is leaving and Mr. Perfect is going with it. You only have one opportunity to get coffee with a gentle sir like this, so you really gotta play your cards right. She declines, saying, "I would appreciate it if you didn't text me unless it's work-related. I don't really know you, and I'm only blank. You're 5 years older than me, dude. This just feels creepy."
Ooh.
I didn't mean to be creepy or anything. You're just pretty, and I thought it would be cool if we got to hang out, Smiley. No thanks. That's honestly so weird. And if you continue to ask, I'm going to talk to Lean about this. I'm assuming that's like their supervisor or someone higher up at the place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
They work. And then he goes in deep. He says, "I'm not going to lie. I've been thinking about you a lot, and I just want you to spend time with me. What you said the other day just felt rude. At least try and give this a chance. I know you're probably not awake, but I've been up all night thinking about you. Not going to lie, sometimes I like to take pictures of your ass while you're in the drive-thru window, and I jerk off to them in the bathroom."
Man, I do the same. Taking picture of people's asses and not from anywhere really. Women's asses, jerk off. Yeah.
Go ahead and take a courtesy pause.
Can't believe how incredibly Colin that is.
Here to give everyone a brief respite and let that nugget marinate in this sauce here, because he just dropped a real heavy spicy meatball on the plate. And when I first read it, I certainly wasn't ready for that, because that's just openly admitting to a crime.
Yeah.
I'm not a sheriff or anything, but I'm pretty confident that that's illegal. He'd probably be taken away in handcuffs if this information got out, which it should. She should absolutely report all of this. Now, somehow it actually only gets worse from here. This is just the beginning. He's showing his true face, and man oh man, is it an extraordinarily ugly one. I know that's messed up, but imagine if we fucked in the work bathroom.
Oh my
went out
God.
in public. I honestly just love the idea of having a little helpless bitch under my control. I know you're so much younger, but you should give it a shot. Older men can be...
Okay, besties, I have this portable mini shaver,
My
and we're gonna see if this works. Mushroom perfume.
Mini shaver.
It'd be so much fun to be with. No one at work would have to know. Hello? Sorry for calling, but I'm really lonely and you haven't replied to me at all. Since the text messages are going unanswered, I guess he's resorted to actually just calling her, which is also being ignored, obviously, because that's the safest thing you can do is ignore it. So I can't believe the revelation that it turns out he's lonely. Who would have seen that coming? With smooth talking like this dude's got all the game in the world. This man's a fucking apex predator, a grizzly bear. A champion of Riz here. I can't believe that he, of all people, would somehow be lonely. What a curveball. He then tries to brush all that under the rug, trying to apologize for it. Sorry about last night. I got carried away. I know you're probably not even reading these, but I hope you have a good day, Smiley. I'll be thinking of you. I really don't see an issue. It's not like a romantic date or anything. It would just be getting coffee and food. And if you were in the mood, we could always go to my place to watch a movie. I know it sounds creepy, but why not just get out and enjoy the day together? What in the hell is even that? What are you talking about? It's not like a romantic thing or anything. You were just talking about fucking in the workplace bathroom. And then you were talking about having a helpless bitch under your control. What do you mean it's just coffee? You're already showing how extraordinarily creepy and perverse you are. What are you yapping about? He's blabbermouthing about a bunch of hooey. And that's when she finally does respond to all this and says, "All right, man, I'm probably going to report you to the police. You know damn well that I'm underage, and you're texting me in the middle of the night like that. Fuck off." And then he drops her address and says, "If you continue to ignore me, I'll just make it so you can't. If you tell anyone, I'll make this even worse for you." So it turns out she's underage, and he was well aware of that fact. And he also would have been even more aware of that fact considering he snooped through the confidential workplace documents to find her address and her phone number. So it would have been abundantly clear that she is underage, and he didn't care. He still went for this full throttle. So he's also a pedophile on top of all of this. Now he concludes their conversation by dropping her address to obviously try and scare her, letting her know that he knows where she lives and he can always pay her a visit. And a lot of people in the comments, and I think a lot of people in general, would assume that that's just supposed to be like some kind of scare tactic to get her to not say anything. Not necessarily that he's going over there right this instant to do something, but that is still a legitimate threat. And I imagine an actionable threat that the authorities can use. This is one of those situations that really shouldn't be taken lightly, and it seems like it isn't. It seems like she's taken the proper measures here, like contacting authorities or contacting workplace staff and all that, which is what she should be doing, because this is just legitimately dangerous. I mentioned at the start that it reminded me of a case from 2022 where a man killed his 17-year-old coworker because he had a huge crush on her, and since he couldn't have her, nobody could. Her name was Riley Whitelaw, and she was murdered at her place of work by this individual. He recently got sentenced in October of 2023 for the murder, and it is just horrifying. Now, Riley had previously made a complaint to the employment about how uncomfortable he made her with like the advances that he would make on her and all of that, and even asked to like have her schedule changed so they wouldn't have to work together. And despite all of that, they still worked together. The place of employment did not change her schedule around to get her away from him or anything like that. They continued to work together despite all of her complaints until it eventually culminated with him killing her. It's a tragic story. Fucking horrifying. And it reminds me of the text messages we just read right there where a coworker becomes infatuated with someone and then eventually does something disgusting like that. So reading through these text messages, it is a concerning individual in a scary situation. And it's something I think about from time to time about how awful it must be to just be doing your job, doing nothing wrong at all, and then still ending up in a situation like this. This girl never made any advances toward this guy. She never even gave him her number or anything at all, and yet somehow he still became obsessed with her and then stalked her company documents to find her phone number and her address and all of that. It's just so awful. She's literally just doing her job and then gets put in a situation like this because of this absolute lunatic. So yeah, just wanted to talk about it a little bit. I think situations like these should always be taken seriously. Like if a coworker or anyone for that matter starts to get like a level of obsession with you that it becomes a bit palpable, that you can start to see it, it immediately needs to be something that you take very seriously because you never know where it could lead. And I think that is just always something that needs to be handled with real care. So just wanted to go over this a little bit. That's really it. So yeah.
I know.
I've never had a threesome, and I've never had an experience where I read something so cringe that it made my tummy upset. One of these two things is about to change today, and I don't think it's the threesome. I just read something from, yet again, my deep diving onto the horrors of modern dating with absolute deranged weirdos. And the whole interaction was so mind-bogglingly peculiar that my body couldn't help but suffer from a physical reaction after finishing this adventure here. I don't know where these men are coming from. These dudes are just being printed in the cringe factory and being thrown into the dating world as like the worst NPC encounters you could ever have. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. But before doing that, just a quick heads up. The Moist Global Retro Basketball line is still available right now. This is the best assortment of merch the internet's ever seen, so you can go to moistglobal.com right now and pick something up. Links in the description. I just read
I'll
some of
take
the
the hanky.
backstory she was posting about this situation in the comments, and it's actually pretty sad. Apparently, these two had been dating for about 3 years. It was a horrible situation all around, and a couple months ago, she left and took the kids. But this is the most recent interaction between the two of them. She 100% made the right move in leaving. This guy seems like a fucking menace. But anyway, it begins innocently enough. That's good, just working away with 3 exclamation points, so he's having a jolly old day at work. Did you get to the doctors yet? She says, yeah, I have COVID. What did he say it give you? What? What did the doctor say or give you to feel better? Take Advil, Tylenol, sleep as much as you can in quarantine. This is so timely because I myself just finished going through COVID over the last 11 or so days, and this is the 3rd time it's fisted me. It has gone elbow deep in my ass 3 times, and all 3 times that is the exact same advice I was given by doctors. Now, of course, you can still ask for like a Paxlovid prescription if you want. It should help with like symptoms, but it's not usually the first thing they give you unless you're someone who is at risk for like complications, I think. It is an option, but typically they'll just tell you that, take Tylenol, sleep it off, rest, fluids, simple stuff like that. So it seems innocent enough here, and the guy she's communicating with almost seems jovial. Like when he says, just work it away, I can already see him typing that and going, just work it away. One of these with a big old smile on his face ear to ear. He seems like a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And then it all falls apart. This feels like a real Jekyll and Hyde situation. He immediately just doubts her, doesn't trust her, accuses her of lying. Lol, so you didn't go to the doctors. Before this turns into a fight, just tell the fucking truth, lol. She says, I did. There's no meds for this. Yes, there is. Go to the doctors, lol. I need the address and the name of the clinic that told you there's no medicine. Also, the name do the doctors. They will be losing their license. So he's fucking spiraling immediately here. And I feel like this isn't exclusive to just him. I feel like a lot of men these days assume that every girl they interact with, even their significant other they've been with for 3 goddamn years, is some kind of lying, cheating harpy or something. So they're constantly interrogating because they don't believe anything they say. I feel like there's just so many dudes out there with this, like, insecurity within them where they doubt everything their partner says, believing that they're cheating in some way, and they're lying about something, hiding something, and it's fucking awful. So this guy's trying to checkmate her here with the scholar's mate, like, okay, then give me the name and the address, because I'm going to call them to double check, because I don't believe you, madame. She then says, stop being so fucking melodramatic, I seriously don't need this shit right now, there isn't anything they can give me, I'll be fine once it works its way through my system. He just continues to press, please, name of the doctors, location you want to, please. I know you sick. That's why I'm jandling this for you, and just need to know which doctor you went to. I can handle this properly. This guy has so much steam coming out of his ears, it's clouding his eyes. He can't even fucking type properly. He's typing like a caveman. He's going full Neanderthal mode here. Like, what in the world is happening in his noodle? He's gonna start jandling this? That reminds me of jelking. Like, that was an old thing on the internet where you're supposed to, like, masturbate in a certain way to elongate your wiener. Jandling feels like it's some kind of, like, sub-discipline of joking. But anyway, she says, I don't need you to scream at the receptionist for no reason at all. Stop being ridiculous. I won't scream at anyone, just tell me the information. Skit K can handle this, please. If you don't provide it to me, it's because you're lying and didn't go to the doctors. There's nothing to handle. So just tell me the name of the doctor you saw. This douchebag is making so many typos, it looks like he's trying to transcribe the scat man. Skippity deep doop scat I can jandle. It's like ridiculous how crazy he's going because he's so angry. I don't know why he'd even think she's lying about this. He admits that he knows she is sick. So why would she lie about going to the doctor? What the fuck thought process is that? I know my girlfriend is sick, but it's probably dick sickness. She's probably hungry for cock and it's causing her physical pain. That's probably what it is. She didn't go to the doctor. She went to a penis appointment. That's what it is, and she's lying to me about it. I knew it. It continues to just get out of control. She says, lol, I shouldn't have to prove to you anything. I'm sick. I have COVID. She's absolutely right. She doesn't have to prove anything here. She doesn't need to try and, like, defeat his delusions. That's not her responsibility here. She's done nothing wrong. And he just continues, you're not proving anything to me, lol. There's medication for this. I know for a fact, as I know someone else who had COVID last week. There isn't, unless you're old as fuck or have an autoimmune disease or your lungs are shit. Otherwise, you're just a carry through like normal fucking virus. Yes, there is. Let me call the do it, and I will get you proof. Where did you go, baby? That comes out of nowhere. After all of this, he hits her with a "Where did you go, baby?" I can already just tell from reading this shit, this guy is extraordinarily manipulative and a completely insufferable person to be around. But anyway, she goes, I went to a walk-in, and frankly, I'm not going to allow you to cause a muck over nothing. I'm going back to bed. What walk-in clinic? If you don't tell me, I don't with you. Because I'm not a ducking idiot, and I know you're lying, haha. You have 3 minutes to get me the address of the walk-in clinic or else. So now man's out here setting a time limit. He's dropping the ultimatum. You give me the name, and I will hunt them down. Out here like Liam Neeson, about to track them down with his particular set of cringe skills. I guess his thought process was he just wants to confirm that she actually went to the doctor, because for some reason he doesn't trust her even slightly, even though they've been together for 3 years. I also imagine if he did call them, he'd start yelling and screaming and causing a big hoopla, because he seems like that kind of unhinged, deranged lunatic that would do shit like that. But anyway, the 3 minutes to give me the address of the walk-in clinic or else, that's it. Buy more chances for you. She says, fine, be done with me because I don't want you yelling at someone for no fucking reason. He says, no one's going to get yelled at. You're just nothing but a liar and KM Jot a fucking idiot. I wouldn't have even called them, but everything you say is a lie. And you think I'm an idiot, and you can fool me. Anyway, joke's on you. Enjoy. Hope it was worth it, kid. His use of exclamation points and emojis is absolutely infuriating. But even more so than that, the cherry on top of the shit cake is him saying, hope it was worth it, kid. He's speaking like he's back on Xbox Live in a Call of Duty lobby. What? Hope it was worth it, kid? Oh, God, sickening. But clearly the reason he's using the emojis and the exclamation points is he's trying to put on this strong, masculine front that none of this bothers him. This is the biggest mistake of your life. You're going to regret this. But me, I'm laughing. I'm having fun with this. This means nothing to me. So much so that I'll drop a laughing, crying emoji and 5 exclamation points. Haha, not hurting me. She then says, lol, joke's on me because I'm sick. Great joke. Love that for myself. Love that I feel like I'm being dragged through the mud, fire, literally feel the worst ever. Great support, thanks. Joke's on you because you lost the best man of your life because you'd rather lie than tell the truth. Leave me alone. What the fuck? Oh my god. It's just so painful reading this. It's so fucking sad reading this, knowing that not only have they been together for 3 years, but I guess also have kids. Like, and speaking of the kids, his final message to her is this. You got it, Buster. Have fun being a homeless narcissist liar that no one loves, not even their children. He just dropped a cold Buster here at the end, and then told her that she is a homeless narcissist that not even her children love. What kind of delusional, evil shit is this? He's calling someone a narcissist. That's unbelievable. And then to say that not even their children love her? What? I don't know how you go from like, oh, where'd you go, baby? You know, like, it's obviously like in love kind of thing to immediately like, no one loves you, everyone hates you. I'm the best man that has ever existed in this entire fucking history of our species, and you just blew it with me. This is your fault. You're unlovable. You're a liar. Your children don't love you. You're a narcissist. Like, it's just crazy how quickly someone can become this. It's so fucking sad. She definitely made the right call leaving this guy. I'm, of course, no, relationship counselor or guru or anything, but very clearly, this is an unhealthy person to be around. This guy super sucks. This guy is a turbo fucking loser. And according to her comments, this was only like the tip of the iceberg. She actually called this interaction mild. So I can only imagine how awful of a person this piece of shit is. She definitely made the right call. And to think all of this happened because she got COVID and went to the doctor, and that was enough to set this guy off. That's terrible. That's horrible. But yeah, like I said, I have been deep on like the modern dating scene, travesty, seeing like what all's been going on and being posted by people online. I just find it all so interesting. So I can't help but talk about some of these that really get crazy. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.
New Jollibee Crunchy Chicken Sandwich. Crunchy, tasty, sarap in every bite. 59 lang.
Good morning, everyone. I hope the holiday season has been kind to you. As we approach the new year, I wanted to bestow upon you some sage wisdom. As we get into 2024, I imagine many of you are going to choose a New Year's resolution to be more confident, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like when you go a little too hog wild and immediately blow it and pretty much fail the New Year's resolution before it even begins. This exchange was shared today. The two people here have met a few times, and there was nothing odd about any of it. Now, out of the blue, this guy says, "Can I say something weird?" and then sends that face. When that face hits the text messages, you know shit is about to go downhill immediately. Nothing good ever comes from seeing that face. It's like Bloody Mary in the mirror. But she says, "Of course," with an exclamation point, almost excited to hear what weird thing he's about to explain. So he goes, he starts charging up his Kamehameha here. He's about to drop a fucking nuclear bomb on this conversation and this friendship. So here it comes. Happy New Year. I just saw a post celebrating a fat beauty, and you were the fat beauty closest to the top of my contacts, and then drops this hot emoji here. So I just wanted to check in and say hi, and they say chivalry is dead. If that line doesn't get you laid, nothing will. Flirting has never looked so good. So how did she respond to this silver-tongued devil? Holy fucking hell. We'll just casually act like you didn't just say that. And he's dumbfounded. He can't process what went wrong here. He goes, I understand how that was the wrong thing for me to say. Actually, I don't. Please explain how I can prevent making someone uncomfortable in the future. It's like an exit survey after customer service experience. What did you appreciate and what did you not appreciate? How can we improve in the future? I have no doubt this was the last thing she was expecting after saying that she'd like to hear something weird. But anyway, I'll go ahead and break it down for you, brother, on where this bulletproof strategy went awry. Let me give you like a counterexample maybe to help illustrate the point. Let's say there was someone I was talking to that I was somewhat romantically interested in, and I opened this conversation by saying, "Hey, so I just read this post about stupid bitches, so naturally I thought of you. How are you?" It wouldn't exactly go over well now, would it? So you coming out of the blue, guns blazing, calling her fat, is not exactly the compliment that you may have thought it was. But anyway, there is another series of text messages I wanted to talk about because it had me giggling this morning. There was an individual giving away 100 articles of clothing, and somebody wanted to come claim them. But things really took a turn for the worst. It starts innocent enough. Are the clothes available? To which they say, yes, please God, take them, very clearly wanting to get rid of all of these clothes. And then they ask for the location. After receiving the coordinates to the rendezvous, they ask, can you meet me in blank? So meeting at a different location that's a little closer to them. To which they understandably say, no, I'm not meeting for free stuff. And then say, I can go view $10 to brung them, okay? And they just say no again. It's an almost adorable sentence. I can go view $10 to brung them. It's like baby talk in text message format. It reminds me of the dialogue in the game Bug Snacks. Now, this individual clearly does not want to drive out of their way to deliver free stuff to this person, not even for $10, because that's a wild inconvenience to them. They're giving away the free stuff. If you want it, it should be on you to come get it. Like, it's not their responsibility to drive an hour out of their way to deliver it to this stranger. Jesus, thanks. Keep them then. I have a newborn Jesus, which is a huge statement to make. We've got Jesus Christ coming back for round 3, I guess, because she just gave birth to him. I don't have time to waste it. Do you want them gone or not? I don't know why she's trying to flip this around and haggle with this individual who's trying to give away the free clothing. Like, obviously, they want them gone, but they're not going to drive an hour out of their way to get rid of them. It's not that big of a deal. Whoever wants them can come get them, and if no one comes and gets them, I'm sure they would have no problem just donating them to, like, Goodwill or something. This lady has no leverage in this negotiation here whatsoever. So do you want them gone or not? Your only option is to bring them an hour over here to me. Like, no, clearly, that's not the only choice to be making here. That's the bad ending. That's like the stupid ending. If you do that, you have done a big fucking blunder. They say, I do, but I'm not driving an hour round trip. If you want them, you'll get them. If not, someone else will. The brass tacks, the cold hard facts, the cold water. That is the truth right there. If you want them, come get them. If you don't, someone else will. They then ask for the address and then say, it's not that far from blank, and blank is 10 to 15 minutes from blank. Everything's redacted here like a CIA document, so it's a little hard to keep up with. But they're still trying to find a way for them to bring the clothes closer to them so it's more convenient for them to pick up the free shit. They say, I live closer to blank, so 50 minutes, so yeah, you could meet me to blank. That would help us both. Thanks if you would be nice. And they just again say no.
No.
This sets her off and she goes, bitch, have a good day. I have kids. Me and I live further than you and I was ready to pay. Have a good day. To which they say, I have kids too. It doesn't make you special. I ask because everything expensive. I would drive down me for someone. Obviously, English people are actually asshole. Anyway, I wouldn't be like you, me. I would do halfway for someone that's needed. Obviously, you have money, so you don't give a shit about anyone but yourself. You were rude. That's also what I didn't like. Instead of figuring something out for both of us as well. So you're mama person, not me. I'm not sure what that word is because it's blocked by the arrow. One of the most difficult to read statements I've ever read since trying to read Finnegan's Wake. I recognize English may not be her first language here, but goodness gracious.
Damn.
One of the most difficult to read statements I've
didn't expect that joke from Charlie. Hats off to you, sir.
Ever read since trying to read Finnegan's Wake. I recognize English may not be her first language here, but goodness gracious, that was a lot to try and get a grasp on here. So I believe what she's trying to say is that if the roles were reversed and she was the one giving away free clothes, she would have no problem driving an hour out of her way to give them to someone. Which is a load of dirty barnacles. What a fucking load of fish paste. What are you talking about? You won't even drive over here and get the free clothes that she's offering. You're making a big stink about it. So how the fuck am I supposed to believe that you would drive an hour out of your way to bring someone else free clothes when you won't even go here to get them without making a huge deal out of trying to get her to come to you instead? What a ridiculous statement. What an outright fucking lie. You're telling a fib. And liars will go to hell because it's a sin. She also wasn't rude, by the way. She's giving away free clothes and you're trying to take advantage of her kindness and try and push her to do even more for you, for your own convenience. You are the rude asshole, not the person giving away the free clothes. I know things are expensive, that's why I'm giving these away, but I'm not spending time driving to meet someone just to give them away. Like, would you? I would have paid with the only little money I have, so thanks. Yes, I would. Thanks. Go to church. What are you talking about? She's not asking for money and she doesn't need you to go her $10 to bring them. Like that. Just go get the clothes. She is already giving these things away for free. Just go get them instead of trying to shame her for not driving an hour out of her way for a fucking stranger who's too lazy to go do it herself. Like, that is entirely a you problem, not her. And I don't know why you're trying to tell her to go to church. Why don't you go to church? Plant your ass in one of the pews and pray for forgiveness for one of the 7 deadly sins of sloth because you're so fucking lazy that you won't go do the bare minimum and instead start being an asshole to this person who's just giving away free clothes. The conversation concludes with, I definitely do not have money. What an assumption. Go to hell. And she goes, great. Exactly. Shouldn't say that word. What are you talking about? You literally called her a bitch like 3 messages ago. What, saying bitch is okay but not hell? HE double hockey sticks is too far? What is going on? How can you be such a miserable piece of shit? Like, this person is already giving away free clothes. And instead of going to get them and saying thank you, you try and shame them into driving an hour out of their way for your own convenience. How can you be so selfish? The entitlement here is absolutely incomprehensible. I just had to talk about it. This one had me giggling, but also fuming a little bit. Just trying to understand how people like this exist. This is free items that you are making a huge problem out of because they won't drive an hour out of their way for you for it. Like, it's so crazy to me. But anyway, yeah, I just want to talk about these a little bit. That's it.